Welcome to the Master Game. Your initiation awaits. I am David Lovewell, and this is the Master Game, where men become living legends. Today, we're going to be talking about the connection between your breath and your spine, your health and vitality, and your purpose and your calling in the world, and the intimate, inseparable connection between all of these things, how you can open them up and fulfill your highest and greatest purpose. Here's the first thing that you need to know. Everyone has the same purpose. That is to create heaven on earth. The thing is that this looks different to everyone. What would be heaven on earth to me is different than what would be heaven on earth to you. Everybody has a unique vision, a vision of what is best, most beautiful, and most good. And if you really analyze the cause of all actions that everyone takes, it's this desire to create happiness, to create goodness, to create beauty. This is called telos. Aristotle said the motivation for all human behavior is the desire to create happiness. And everyone's vision, understanding of what would create happiness is unique to that person. So to create heaven on earth, this is the alchemical marriage. And the second thing you need to know is that this alchemical marriage of heaven on earth is twofold. It takes place within the body and it takes place within the world. And these are connected. We're going to get into this and we're going to unpack it as we go along. The old adage, people say, as above, so below, from the Emerald Tablets of Hermes. More accurate translation is that which is above is of that which is below, and that which is below is of that which is of above. Basically saying that they're of the same substance. They're not really separate. The heavens and the earth, it's all one existence. The mind and the body, it's all one substance of vibration. Perhaps sort of the way that steam and ice are both H2O, just vibrating at a different frequency with a different space between the atoms. So too is your spirit and your mind and your body, one in the same substance. So we're going to look at these two angles of as within, so without, within the body and within the world, relationship to the breath and the spine and your purpose and your calling. We'll look at them separately and then we'll bring them together in true alchemical fashion. So starting within the body. The alchemical marriage within the body is to sync the awareness, usually via the breath, into the body. So if your body was a sponge, soaking the liquid of your awareness, of your consciousness, deeper and deeper into the tissues of the body. And you might hit blockages or knots of numbness and tension. And these are places where trauma has decided not to feel and to create a blockage and say that's not okay. These are limitations of your life force expressing itself in the vitality of your physical body and in your expression of yourself in the world and your ability to be present and receive others and to receive the world. So soaking the body in is how we allow these tensions to unfold and to the knots to untie themselves. We soak awareness into them and be with them without judging them, feeling the tension fully, and whatever stories and emotions, memories, traumas that have been associated with that place where a knot was created, allowing it just to be without judgment. And that unfolds layers and tissues of our body that allow our consciousness to sink deeper within. If you think about fire and water, the chi, people talk about chi, this life force energy. The symbol for it, the kanji, is steam coming off of a grain of rice. So it's this element of cooking, liberating, transforming a lower density into a higher density of expression. So typically, fire wants to rise, its heat rises, and we look up the heavens, there's fire up there. This whole myth of fire being given to the humans, it's kind of abnormal for fire to exist here in the earthly realm, and it requires offerings and sacrifices to maintain. If you want to keep a fire, you have to continue to feed it. You have to give offerings to it to keep it here. And when it's done consuming the offerings, it goes into the formless realm. The fire itself is a gateway between form and formlessness. And that's a little bit of a tangent, but this nature of bringing fire together, bringing attention together, it rises along a central piece. Water, on the other hand, always sinks. It condenses in clouds and falls, and it finds the lowest point. It goes down into cracks through the path of least resistance. Water always sinks to the lowest point. So it's sort of these opposite natures. Fire wants to rise, and water wants to sink. Alchemically, we want to invert these and put the fire underneath the water and cause it to boil. This is an alchemical teaching. When we bring the awareness of our bodies and we centralize it and keep it still within, it can boil and melt the ice of blockages that may have arisen within our lives. Whenever there's tension in the body, that directly reflects some sort of tension that is experienced in the outer world of the way that you relate to others, the way that you relate to power, the way that you relate to love. These things are connected to the way you feel in your body. There's an equal and opposite reaction. As you sink spirit and mind deeper into the body, earth rises and releases into the realm of spirit. There's an expression of the physical being as the spirit soaks within. People talk about the chakras, these endocrine centers rising up the spine, and the lowest center, the root, is physical safety. Beyond that, sexuality, the desire to reproduce one's seed, and the creativity that gets into the self-expression of the ego, and eventually love and higher forms of awareness connected with more subtle realms. You have to start at the bottom, like building a house, the foundation. You have to start with the bones, with sinking down into your root. The way that you do this is by placing your awareness into your body via the breath. There are 5 qualities of breath that are signposts along the way to show you that you're progressing. And you don't force these or try to do these. They happen naturally, one after the other. The first one is quiet. They go in order. It's quiet, deep, at ease, slow, and what's called cotton or soft. So when you quiet your breathing so that you couldn't hear your breathing, even if somebody had their ears right next to your mouth, it's very quiet and natural. Breathing that way naturally, just letting it be and focusing on your breathing, your mind and your breath will naturally start to sink deeper into your body. Your mind is affected by gravity, and it will actually sink in the body. As it sinks, your essence rises. But first, just worry about getting down. This rises via the spine and sort of the central column that all of this magic extends out into the world like the trunk of a tree. And so as your breath becomes quiet, it becomes deeper in your body as it sinks down. As it sinks, it becomes easier and more relaxed. As that happens, it becomes slower and slower until inhales, a single inhale can last for 2 or 3 minutes. An inhale and an exhale, it could take you 5 minutes to do one breath. This is a deep level of achievement that eventually fills the body with awareness and reaches this cotton soft level, which is a very, very high level of attainment. Again, none of this is forced. If you were to try to breathe that slow, you would run out of breath. But just watching the breath, staying present, is not falling asleep. You're very lucidly conscious during all of this. Your body naturally begins to relax and breathe, sort of like a snake or a cat. There's a slowing down, but an ever-present readiness. You know, a cat hears a sound, even if it's asleep, its ears turn towards it or it looks at it. A serpent, conserving energy. That's what the image is here. Getting deeper and deeper, and that Kundalini is the serpent that sleeps at the root of the spine, making contact with that. We're not going to get into that, but it's just, I'm connecting the dots of imagery here for you. So this is what the alchemical marriage looks like within the body. The way that this connects to vitality is completely connected to what you do with your life in the world. Let me explain this. There is a teaching about your life path that's connected to a point between your kidneys. It's where the heat of life enters into your body in Chinese medicine. They call this the Ming Men, the gateway of Ming, which is your life path. And when you're aligned with your life path and doing the thing that you're here to do, you have energy and health and vitality. And as you drift further away from that, you lose health. And if you get far enough away, you actually die. You become sick and die because you're not doing the thing that you were put here to do. That's how this connects. So the alchemical marriage in the world is about what is heaven on earth to you. What can you do to bring that into being? What goals are you focusing on to fulfill your purpose, to create the highest level of goodness that you are aware of? And I want to point out here that acupuncture is paid for by Western medical insurances because they know that it's effective, it works, it can save money, and it can heal people. So as materialistic as Western society is in many ways with the bureaucratic medical industry, they recognize and will pay for acupuncture. And the basis of heat and vitality and the root of that in acupuncture is this Ming point between your kidneys. It's not just a point on your body, it is a path of life that you agreed to before you came into your body. A direct translation of it might be something like the heavenly mandate, the divine mandate, that which you agreed to before you came down through the celestial spheres into this physical vehicle of a body. You agreed to inhabit a specific vibration specifically. It's not necessarily to do certain things at certain times. You agreed to vibrate in a certain way. And you know that whenever you're working a job that you hate, you're out of tune with that vibration. Whereas whenever you're inspired and possessed by creativity and you're fully in alignment, in a flow state, you are in attunement with that vibration, which you are meant to be. That will allow you to live longer, to be more vital, to be more magnetic. So you always need to pay attention to this vibration. This is the connection between the body and your calling in the world. How do you feel about the work that you do? Are you ready to move on to a new career path? Are you ready to start working for yourself? Or are you ready to start a side project in your spare time that really turns you on and enlivens you? You need to have a connection with your highest calling. If you don't have that, you're dying faster than you should. You're not fulfilling the oath that you took to be here. And conversely, perhaps you don't have any awareness of that because your body has been traumatized, addicted to substances, to pornography or video games, and there is a chemical feedback loop of numbing out and being distracted. You can't accurately feel where that vibration is and what's in alignment. In that case, coming into the body, slowing down and soaking the awareness into the tissues of the body, letting the energy naturally rise up through the spine. Semen retention does this as well. I'm not saying to never ejaculate, but to do it much less often than you might be doing it, or even to set a period of time to find your purpose where you don't do it at all for 30 days, maybe even 90 days, and see what happens, see what that's like. This energy will rise up your spine. It's boosted by syncing the breath and the awareness into the body and opening up the tissues, opening up the spaces that are there so that your spirit can be unlocked and express itself through the body. You will be clear about what you like and what you don't like. What is good for you? What is bad for you? What behaviors you need to cut out? What behaviors you need to make sure that you do every day, that you make time for? As you do the work that you're meant to do, your body will naturally start to unlock. You will naturally start to value things that are good for you, and it becomes a virtuous spiral. This is what I want for you. I want you to get yourself onto the path of the virtuous spiral of being more healthy, more inspired, more happy, more alive, doing the work that you were put here on this earth to do. You can start wherever you are by feeling your body, opening up the tissues, sinking the awareness deep within, doing the work that you are called to do, telling the truth. That's key, telling the truth. That's the key, telling the truth. As a man, everything depends on how you show up in the world, the vibration of your body, and the work that you do for yourself, for your family, for your friends, for your tribe, for the world. At every level, you have to tell the truth about who and what you are, and what you feel, what you want, what you think, what you desire. Stand in the essence of that truth. I've created a free Telegram group. It's not really a Telegram group, but that's the vehicle that I present this thing to you, called the Underworld Society. Why is it called the Underworld Society? There's an old alchemical motto, vitriol for short. It's an acronym for this Latin phrase. I'll read it here. Visita interiora terrae rectificando inviene saccultum lapidem. In English, it means visit the interior parts of the earth. By rectification, thou shalt find the hidden stone. They're talking about the Philosopher's Stone here, this mythical object that can create an unlimited amount of wealth and to heal any ailment. I offer you the idea that this Philosopher's Stone is the product of being fully aligned and locked in with your life's path and your life's purpose. And what you need for that is a group of men that are on the same path and that can give you feedback, to call you on your bullshit, to tell you whenever you're shining bright and that you seem really excited about something and you should pay more attention to that. This group is completely free. There's monthly challenges, there's live chats, there is everything that you need to get yourself on the path that you need to be on. So go ahead and click the link below. Go ahead and like and subscribe to this video. Leave me some comments. Let me know your thoughts, desires, feelings, all of that good stuff. And I'll see you on the next video.